is up, guys, and welcome to yet another tier list video. I'm your host, BC King, and we are back with another Pokemon type ranking. This time we are ranking every single electric type Pokemon from Gens 1 through 9, from S down to F. So let's not waste any more time and get right to it. So there's surprisingly not a lot of Pokemon for this type compared to other types we've done so far, so let's get started. So we got Pikachu. See, Pikachu's the OG, right? I gotta go at least A tier for right now, but personally, I might go with S. I'm still kind of thinking about it, but for right now, it's definitely an A. I love Pikachu. He's the mascot of Pokemon. You gotta respect Pikachu, right? Pikachu's awesome. As far as G-Max Pikachu, I do love the reference to the old Gen 1 Chunky Pikachu from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. The G-Max form is good, but I don't really love it per se. I do like it a lot. I would say probably a B for the G-Max form. And then, Raichu... See, I like Raichu. I do. I like Raichu. But, compared to Pikachu, I don't quite love it as much. So, I would say Raichu's probably a C for me, maybe a C+. I still like it, but, again, we're ranking these based on other Pokemon, like, in the typing, so not by the way we did before, but just yeah. Alolan Raichu though, I would say is a B. I love Alolan Raichu. I think it's one of my favorite ones from Gen 7, one of my favorite Alolan forms. It gets the second typing of Psychic, which is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely a B for Alolan Raichu. Geodude. Honestly, I would say Alolan Geodude and Graveler for me are C tier, and then Golem's maybe a B. This is better than the original Geodude line to me. I do love the electric typing. I love their hair they got growing out of their bodies. Golem looks sick with the beard and the magnet on the top of his body there. So yeah, these two are a C, and Golem's probably like a low B, maybe a B minus, but probably a B. Magnemite and Magneton, they're alright. I would say they're probably a C. I like them. Excuse me, sorry. Voltorb, though, here's the thing. I have kind of a soft spot for Voltorb. I don't know why. I've always liked it a lot. I'm putting that in B tier. I love Voltorb. Also, why is Miraidon in Gen 1? Do you guys see that? Why is that in Gen 1? That should be Gen 9. So we're going to skip by that for now. And we'll go straight to, Hisuian Voltorb, the, grass and electric type. This one's better for me, I would say. Honestly, kind of a hot take. I'm going A tier for, Electrode and Voltorb, Hisuian form. They're better than me. I love the grass typing, and they're wooden. Like, they look so cute. Look at them. They look so damn cute. Like, how can you not love those things? Just the coloring, the material, the faces they make, it's better. So, Electrode for me is probably a B. No. Yeah, it's like a low B minus, I would say. I like Electrode. Electabuzz. Probably a B. I like Electabuzz. I think Fire is probably, a lot better. Electivire, we'll get to that in Gen 4, but, I like Electabuzz too. Jolteon's one of my favorite Eevee evolutions, so probably an A tier. I will say S tier would be Umbreon, but that's another typing. But, besides Umbreon and Sylveon, I love Jolteon. Probably my favorite of the three original Eevees, being Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. Jolteon's the best to me, so there you go. I do love Vaporeon, though, for sure. Not for that reason that you're thinking of. And then Zapdos, I love Zapdos, definitely an A tier. So yeah, right now, no S tier, but, there might be some coming up, but, that is Gen 1, so on to Gen 2. Alright, on to Gen 2, so, again, skipping Miraidon because that is, Gen 9, not Gen 2, so on to Chinchou and Lantern. They're fine to me, I would say probably a C for both of them. They do look cool. I love their, like, blue-yellow coloring. I love Lantern's little, things on its head. Chinchou's eyes are cool looking, but besides that, they're just alright to me, so that's a C tier. Pichu, might be a hot take. It might be a bad hot take. I don't like Pichu that much. This is my first D tier, I think. I don't like him in Smash Bros. It's kind of unrelated, but I hate him in Smash Bros. And honestly, as a Pokemon, he's cute, but like, you can't just be cute and be, like, A or S. You gotta be, like, you know, have more to you. So, Pichu for me, it's fine. I don't like it a whole lot, so D tier for Pichu. Sorry, Pichu fans, not sorry. He sucks in Smash Bros. Like, come on. That's not the same thing as, like, the Pokemon series, but in Smash Bros. He sucks, so that's kind of... It's little points for Pichu, but yeah. Mareep and Flaffy? I would say Mareep is... Okay, here. This might be a weird split. Mareep is a C tier to me. Flaffy is probably a B tier. And then Ampharos is an A tier. I love Ampharos. Like, I think Ampharos is one of the most underrated Gen 2 Pokemon to me. Like, he can learn Bug-type moves and Rock-type moves, and I think some Dragon-type moves. Speaking of, Mega Ampharos, probably better, but we're not doing that anymore. But, yeah, definitely an A tier for Mega Ampharos as well. They're both great. Electric and Dragon, like, come on. You can't not love Mega Ampharos. It's cool. So, yeah. Elekid. If Electabuzz is a B tier, it's gotta be a lower tier than Electabuzz, right? Would it be C or D? I'm gonna personally say probably a D. Yeah, it's a D. I don't hate it. I love the little, like, plug ears it has, but... See, this feels weird because people think I hate baby Pokemon. That's not the case. Like, I just think in terms of ranking them based on other Pokemon in the list, the baby Pokemon always come in lower because they're not as cool looking. They don't have a whole lot to them. So, I don't know. I do kind of like Elekid and Pichu, but if I had to rank them based on the other ones in this list, they gotta be a D tier. They just barely missed F, but they're definitely a D. And then Raikou is definitely, like, A or B. I would say maybe, that's an A. I think Raikou just barely misses the S. But personally, I've been going back and forth on the 3 dog Pokemon from Johto, Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. I think Raikou's probably my favorite these days. They're both they're all fantastic, but if I had to pick one, I might go with Raikou. Entei is a close second. I do love Suicune too, but if I had to pick one, it's probably Raikou. But anyway, there you go, A tier. And Gen 2 is done, so on to Gen 3. Dude, we can already see the end of the list, because this typing has, like, very few Pokemon overall compared to the other types we've done so far. But anyway, Gen 3, we have Electrike, who I'm going to say is a D tier for me personally. There's not a lot to it. Manectric's probably a C. Honestly, no. Yeah, it's a C. It's cool looking, but I think it's not quite the level of the ones in B tier. Mega Manectric, same kind of deal. It's not one of the better Mega Evos in my opinion, like design-wise. The Lightning Bolt looks kind of cool, but like, again, when you're up against Mega Rayquaza and Mega Charizard, who do a lot more to stand out than this one does, then there you go. So, C tier for both of Manectric's forms. Plusle and Minun. Ooh. This might make some people mad. I'm sorry. I've never really liked these guys that much. And they're not F tier. But based on my personal feelings towards them, they gotta be D tier. I'm pretty sure a lot of you will be mad about this. I already expect it, but they're like Pikachu's little bratty cousins, if we're being real. Like, they're not bad, but, you know, every gen has that, like, Pikachu ripoff, like Dedenne and Palmo or whatever else. These ones just feel very, very bratty sometimes. I don't know. I do like them, but they're D tier for me. I don't like them that much. So, sorry, Plusle and Minun fans, but they're little Pikachu brats. I'm sorry. That's my best info about them. Alright, Gen 3 is done, so on to Gen 4. Alright, so on to Gen 4. So first up, we have Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray. I would say these 3 guys are probably similar to Mareep, Flappy, and Ampharos, where they're going to be in 3 separate tiers. So I'm going to say Shinx is probably going to be a C tier. I would say Luxio is probably a B. And then Luxray for sure is an A. So, very similar split to Mareep and Flappy in them. I love their coloring. The blue, yellow, and black looks great. I love their hair, their patterns on their little arms there. They look cool, so definitely C, B, and A, respectively, for those three. Pachirisu might get more hate for this, but Pikachu clone, it's fine, but I don't really like it that much, so probably a D tier. I don't know, I think I might have a personal bias against, like, any Pikachu clones. I'm not sure why. I think because I love Pikachu so much that anything that's based on Pikachu is just, like, a very low tier for me. I don't hate them. I don't think they're bad Pokemon, but, like, I think me loving Pikachu so much makes me think less of, like, whatever comes after it that is based on Pikachu. So, Pichu, Plusle, Minun, Pachirisu are just, like, I don't know. They're fine Pokemon. I'm not a huge fan of them, so D tier. Magnezone to me is a very underrated Gen 4 Pokemon. I love Magnezone. I think he is one of the best Gen 4 like new evolutions for existing Pokemon that they gave to Gen 4 or in Gen 4. Sorry, I can't talk anymore. But yeah, I love Magnezone. I love Magmortar. I love Gliscor, but he's definitely up there. I love Magnezone a lot. Electivire as well. Like, if Buzz is B, Vire has to be A. Like, I love Vire a lot. I think his body looks great. I love the wires for his tail. I love his patterns, his yellow and black color, the red eyes. And I might have a bit of a bias, or sorry, not a bias, but like, well, okay, yeah, kind of bias. I might have bias for Electivire because this Pokemon was used in my favorite battle of all time, being Ash versus Paul from the Sinnoh League. So, maybe some bias there, but still a great Pokemon. So, A tier for Electivire. Now we have the Rotom forms, which are kind of, not in order, but, I would say main Rotom, or I guess, OG Rotom is probably going to be a C tier. And then the rest of them would probably be all different tiers. I would say Wash Rotom, to me, is definitely an A tier. I would say Heat Rotom is probably also a C tier with normal Rotom. Fan Rotom is probably a B tier. I would say also that Frost is probably up there in B tier. We are lagging, by the way. I am so sorry about that. Hopefully it gets fixed after this next take. Rotom is probably also an A. I think those two for sure are my favorite Rotom forms. Wash and Rotom. Yeah, so there we go. All different spots pretty much. It's like, it's evenly split, isn't it? We got 2 in C tier, 2 in B, and 2 in A. So, even split. There you go. I love Rotom, though. Great Pokemon. And then Electrotype Arceus, honestly, is probably a B tier with the other ones in the previous, ones we've done. It's a cool Pokemon, but, you know, typing doesn't really make it any less different. So yeah, that is Gen 4. I'm gonna try to fix the lag real quick, and I'll be back for, Gen 5. Alright, on to Gen 5. So first up, we have, Blitzel and Zebstrika. These guys are probably a B. I've always loved Zebras, and these guys are pretty cool. And they can learn Fire-type moves. So, these guys in the early game of Black and White are pretty cool to have on your team. So, that's definitely a B tier. Emolga? Now, here's the thing. I may not like Minun, Plusle, and Pachirisu a whole lot. I love Emolga, and yes, it is another Pikachu clone. But it's a flying squirrel, and it's cute as hell. Flying squirrels are great. So you know what? Emolga gets the bump up to a B for me. I love Emolga. I think it is probably the best of the Pikachu clone Pokemon. So, definitely a B for Emolga. Joltik and Galvantula. I gotta admit, Joltik's probably the first F on this list. There is nothing about Joltik that I really like, besides it being kind of cute. But again, cute is only gonna get you so far on this tier list, so... yeah, sorry, I don't like Joltik at all, really. That's gotta be an F tier for me. Galvantula, though, I really like. I'm gonna say that's a B for me. Like, he can be pretty quick, too. He's got some pretty good speed from what I hear. Like, competitively, he's pretty good for speed, so... that's a B for me. Tynamo... this guy is ugly, and I don't like him. I'm sorry. Electric, kind of the same thing. I think he's a step above F tier, but these guys don't really look that well. Also, Electros. People like this guy a lot, and I get it. I really don't, but he's still a C tier for me, I would say. I don't know. I think their designs are just kinda... They're kinda not my style. Dynamo looks ugly as hell, and Electric looks kinda just bleh, and I don't know. The whole entire alliance is kinda very lacking design-wise for me personally, so F, D, and C for those 3 Pokemon. I'm on the train with you guys. Ugly Pokemon need to be in F tier. I will say, the typing is really cool. It's electric and ground, right? Pretty cool typing. But design-wise, that might be the ugliest Pokemon of all time. Even more than Feebas, if we're being honest. Like, I'm sorry. I gotta give a lot of points for designs, and this one just does not hit at all. It is, ugh. So sorry, Stunfisk. You gotta be an F tier. Okay, Thundurus. You know what? I'm gonna say Thundurus OG is a B. Thundurus Therian form, easily an A. That is such a... I love all the Therian forms for the, that trio from Gen 5. They are all really damn cool looking. Like, what a glow up. So, yeah, Zekrom. I gotta be biased. That's an A tier. That's an A tier. I love Black and White. That is one of my favorite mascots, I would say, for, or I guess legendary box art mascots for any mainline Pokemon game. And real quick, I'm gonna move Zapdos and Jolteon to S tier, because I feel like now thinking about it, they deserve it. Because I love them a lot. Like, a lot. Pikachu, I think, just barely misses it. But Jolteon and Zapdos, for me, I think are probably S tier, now that I think about it. So, yeah, anyway, Gen 5 is done, so on to Gen 6. Okay, so Gen 6 only has 3 Pokemon of the electric type. And, let's go through real quick. Helioptile, it's fine, probably a D. Heliolisk, same deal, probably a C, just barely above Helioptile. Dedenne's cute, not that cute, better than these 3 in D tier, or I guess 4 in D tier, the Pikachu clones, but, it's a fairy type, so there you go, but, no higher than C. But, that was quick! On to Gen 7! Alright, so Gen 7. First up, we have, Charjabug and Vikavolt. I guess Grubbin's not an electric type, like I thought. Yeah, it's a bug type. Charjabug is just kind of a D tier for me. I just spat, sorry. Design-wise, it's kinda ugly, and it doesn't really stand out that much. Vikavolt, though, is probably an A tier. I love Vikavolt. Just the little scissor things it has around its mouth, and just the wings, and, it's a really cool Pokemon, so I would say that's a A for Vikavolt. Sorry again for the lag if you see it. It is being very laggy today, so, hopefully you can finish this video, for God's sake. Oricorio, that form. Red is my favorite, the red Bile form, whatever you call it. This one's cool, this one's cool too. I would say probably a B for this form. I don't know what the hell that was, but, okay, anywho, moving on, we got Togedemaru, another Pikachu clone. This one to me is probably just barely, and I mean just barely, a low C tier with, Dedenne. One of my more liked Pikachu clones, I would say, but, nothing too spectacular there. Tapu Koko? I think Koko's probably my favorite of the Tapu Pokemon. I do like Tapu Bulu, but Koko's, like, has the best design in my opinion, the best cry, and I don't know, but I wouldn't put it in A tier personally, but probably a B for Tapu Koko. I think there are better legendaries than Tapu Koko, but, yeah. And then, finally, we have Xurkitree, one of the Ultra Beasts. This guy, I would say, is a personal favorite Ultra Beast for me. I would say A. I was gonna say B at first, but now thinking about it, compared to the other Ultra Beasts that I like, Buzzwole is probably an S, for sure, if we were doing, fighting and bug type. And I would say Kartana's up there too, but Xurkitree is probably, like, 3rd or 4th for me, as far as, like, ranking my favorite Ultra Beasts. I love circuitry. It's a cool design. I love the little wires for its arms, and just it's a really great design. So bonus points there. And then I guess Zeraora is kind of Gen 7 and Gen 8. I think it's a Gen 7 or it's classified as a Gen 7 Pokemon, so we'll rank it now, I guess. Zeraora is fantastic. In the movie, it was great, and then in the actual games, like, here's the thing. Why is it not electric and fighting? It fits it so well. It's just an electric type, though. Like, why? It fits the fighting type bill so much. We're like, nope, just pure electric. Who knows, but great design. Love the blue coloring, and it's still a great Pokemon. And I will tell you right now, if it did have the fighting type, it'd be an S tier. Easily. I have wanted that typing for so long, and Gen 9 gave us it, which we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I think for that reason alone, it can't be S tier, but definitely still an A tier for Zeraora. And that is Gen 7, so on to Gen 8. Okay, so Galar has a bit. Let's get through it. We got Yamper. Sorry, I almost got the name. Yamper. Yamper's really cute. I like Yamper a bit. I wouldn't say a lot. I do love dog Pokemon, but Yamper's good, not great for me. So I'd say probably a B tier for Yamper. Boltund is probably a C. I thought originally it was better than Yamper, but thinking back, I do like Boltund a lot. It gave me that goddamn ad again. Dude, what is with the ads on this website? Why are they blocking my screen? But anyway, as I was trying to say, Boltund is good, but not as good as Yamper for me. So anyway, moving on. We got Toxel, who is a poison electric type, and Toxtricity, also same typing, obviously. Toxel is probably a C. However, Toxtricity is one of my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon. I love both forms so much. I love the design, I love the moveset, I love the charisma, I love the style, I just love everything about it. Not quite S tier, but it gets there. But easily an A tier for Toxtricity. One of the best Gen 8 designs in my opinion. Love this guy. And then, same deal with the G-Max form. I think it's probably, I like it less than the OG non-G-Max forms, but it's still a great one. So, easily another A tier. Pincurchin, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that's an F tier. I think Pincurchin might be my least remembered Pokemon from Gen 8. Because there were a lot I remembered fondly, this one not so much. Because it is extremely forgettable. So, it's gotta be an F tier. The design is just meh, and it's just not memorable. I'm sorry, there's nothing good about it, in my opinion. Morpeko, people love Morpeko. I do too, but not a whole lot. I'm gonna give Morpeko a B, personally. Probably both forms, if we're being real. I think the Hangry form is funny as hell. I love Hangry Morpeko, but I wouldn't say I love it as much as other people might, but still a good one. And I think this is Dracozolt, right? Because it's the electric and the dragon variant, combined together, because the fossils in Gen 8 are kind of weird. So Dracozolt, I would... You know what? No. I hate the Gen 8 fossils. This has got to be a D. They're both D. I hate the fossil Pokemon in Gen 8. They're all really bad. Freaking even though Dracovish is good in the anime on Ash's team in Journeys, I still hate it as a Pokemon. I'm sorry. They all suck. They're not quite F tier, but they can't be higher than D tier. I don't like them. And then finally Regieleki. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this might be my new favorite Reggie. Maybe. Like, it gets there. It gets there. I think Reggie, either Regice or Gigas might be top for me. But I love Regieleki a lot. That's gotta be an A tier. Drago's cool too, but Ro gets that on the Dragon type tier list. But Eleki is solid A. And then Gen 8's done, so we can finally move to Gen 9 and finish this freaking laggy and ad-filled tier list. Alright, ending things with Gen 9. So we have, I think that's Palmy, right? Palmy is the first one, and then Palmo is the second one. Palmy is alright. Another Pikachu clone. I would say probably a C with the Dene and Togedemaru. Palmo, see, here's the thing. I know that Palmut, which is the final Evo, is like a B, maybe an A tier. No, probably a B. But Palmo is kind of close, because that's when it gets the fighting type, right? we finally have electric and fighting type, but it could have been a bit better with the names and the designs, but it's still fine. I still appreciate the typing finally being used, but yeah, I would say Palmet is a B tier, and then Palmy and Palmo are both C tier. Tadbulb? It's definitely not F, but I don't think it's higher than D. Design-wise, it's fine. I get what they're going for, but the face is kind of derpy. I'm not one for, like, hugely derpy Pokemon. I know some are. I'm not one of those people, unfortunately. I like more serious-looking Pokemon. And then Bellybolt is probably a C for me. The eyes look cool. I think it has the face, right? I thought the white things on its head were the eyes. I think we all did, but it's not. It's like its ears or something, or whatever. But it looks fine, but I wouldn't say I love Bellybolt. It's a cool design, though, so I'll give it points for that, but no higher than C. Wattrel, which is like this generation's Pidgey, pretty much, I think. Wattrel is fine. I would say D means fine. Like, D is the fine tier, F is the trash tier, and C is just the, like, alright tier, or good tier. Yeah, I would say Wattrel and Kilowattrel is probably a C, but Wattrel's probably a D. I don't know. I think the other birds from other gens are probably better, like Pidove and Pidgey and, Wingull. But, this one's good, overall, I would say. This one's just alright to me. And then finally we have all the Paradox Pokemon. We have, Sandy Shocks, the, Paradox Magneton. Probably one of my least favorite Paradox forms. I still like it, but if I had to rank them, they'd probably be one of the lower ones. I would say C for Sandy Shocks. I would say Iron Hands is probably a B. And then Iron Thorns, the Tyranitar, is probably an A. One of my favorite ones, personally. I think Pokemon Violet got the better Paradox monsters. We have, like, all the metal robot-y ones, and they're all cool looking, so, yeah. Oh, and Miraidon, we can finally rank Miraidon, which is, down here. He's, been waiting his turn. I would say Miraidon is probably a B or A. I'm gonna say A. I love it better than Koraidon by a landslide. I love the design, love the whole futuristic-looking, things got going on. So, yeah, I guess there we go. So yeah, I want to apologize again for the lag and the ads you saw at certain parts, and I gotta say, only 2 in S tier this time. I did not expect that, but honestly, I think I'm okay with this, because I just think this typing doesn't really have a lot of Pokemon that I consider, like, super top tier in terms of, like, my favorite Pokemon of all time. But yeah, I would say a pretty even split besides S and F. We got a lot in D, a lot in C, a lot in B, and a lot in A. So probably the most even list we've had so far in terms of like all the other typings. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed watching, and we'll be back with more types in the future, ranking the Dragon type and Fairy type and whatnot. So hope y'all are excited for that, and I will see you guys in the next tier list video. And until then, take care. Goodbye.